Have you ever wondered how embracing self love can transform not only your personal life, but also elevate your business to new heights? I'm Valerie, and today on Business by Design, I'm diving into the heart of building a successful business through the powerful practice of self love. As we prepare to celebrate Valentine's Day tomorrow, let's explore how nurturing yourself can lead to thriving, authentic businesses that truly reflect who you are. Join me.
Hello, I'm Valerie Priester, and this is the Business by Design podcast. Are you a woman entrepreneur who absolutely loves what you do and enjoy helping others, but for some reason, you can't seem to get out of your own way? You can't seem to get out of your head and really create the level of success that you desire? I get it. I truly understand. I've been there too. You see, I spent years searching for what do they call it? The holy grail, the secret sauce, right? To success. And what I learned along the way is all of the women that I knew that were very successful had one thing in common, and that was their way of thinking. Now, I know you may be saying it can't be that simple, can't be that easy, right? But the truth is, the number one key or secret, however you want to label it, to success is your way of thinking. It's your mindset. It's what you believe and what you think is possible for you. And so that's exactly why I created this podcast. I want to help you get out of your head, get out of your own way. I want to help you get into more profits, more passion, and more power. I want to help you to shift away from old beliefs and release old ways of thinking, self sabotaging conversations, and help you shift into new beliefs that support your goals and bring lasting success. I want to help you design your victory so you can create the business and life that you desire. So if you're ready for some real talk about how to do that, if you're ready to really make the shift and move into greater possibilities and greater success, you're in the right place.
Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to another moment where we get real, get honest, and embrace the beauty in our journeys because it's all about the journey. So, today I want to talk about something so fundamental, yet it's often overlooked when we talk about business, and that's self love. Now, we hear self love all the time. What I want you to know and understand is that it's not just a buzzword, it is a powerful living force that influences every decision you make in your life and in your business, right? It's recognizing deep down that you're worthy just as you are, you're enough just as you are. It's about honoring your needs, setting healthy boundaries, and choosing what enriches your spirit, right? I was just having a conversation with a client the other day, and we were talking about how this entrepreneur journey, while it is all focused on growing successful businesses, one of the biggest things that we experience in being entrepreneurs is growing ourselves, right? And that includes digging deep and understanding our value and our worth and loving ourselves. That is such a big part of our success when we are building businesses, right? And so, guess what? When we truly love ourselves, we automatically make decisions, ones that reflect our highest values, ones that nourish the soul of our business. There is a soul to your business. So, picture self love as like the bedrock beneath, let's say, your dream home. Like we all have this dream home that we want, right? So, the bedrock that's beneath that home, that's what keeps everything supported and stable. And so if we neglect this foundation that's under our dream home, no matter how beautiful our rooms are and how beautiful the house is inside, all of that, if we neglect the foundation, we struggle to grow really in any area of our business, right? And even in our lives, we have to make certain that we're building a solid foundation. And that foundation must be built on treating yourself with the same compassion and high regard that you reserve for your clients, your team, your family, your community, right? We tend to treat everybody else better than we treat ourselves. And that's how, you when you treat yourself the best, when you love yourself, that's how you build something that stands the test of time. So you may be asking, well, what does self-love have to do with business? Why does it matter in business, right? One of the things I often teach my clients and often say, and it's from a quote of Maya Angelou, is that we teach people how to treat us first based on how we treat ourselves. People learn how to interact with you, right? How to be in relationship with you based on how you treat yourself. And in business, this principle is no different. So let's look at like why self-love is an essential part of your growth in business. Well, for starters, self-love can spark your creativity, your innovation, right? It helps you to think outside the box. It helps you to dream bigger, right? When you feel secure in who you are and when you know your worth and your value, right? Fear of judgment will fade away. And when it fades away, that freeing energy opens up this magnificent space for creativity. And it opens up the possibilities for you to soar even higher than you ever thought you could, right? You can dream bigger. You can take those inspired risks, those calculated risks, and you can birth ideas that set you apart from anyone else. Okay. The other thing that it does is it strengthens your decision making. Self love is knowing you can trust yourself. This is a big one. And this was probably at the core of the conversation I was having with my client the other day, is because when we don't love ourselves as we are and we don't feel like we are enough, it really does hinder our ability to trust ourselves, right? So, what this means is you believe in your instincts and you stand by your choices. One of the most powerful things that we have as women is what they call women intuition, right? It's all about trusting yourself. So whether you are, looking at hiring a new team member, whether you're looking at how do I price my services, that confidence is your guiding star. And the confidence comes when you start with believing in yourself and loving yourself and trusting yourself, right? The other thing that it does is it builds resilient relationships. Valuing yourself is what sets the standard for how others engage with you. Remember, you teach people how to treat you. So when you show up feeling worthy and whole, you attract and maintain healthier and more balanced relationships, right? And this is throughout your business interactions. So you have these balance in relationships with your clients, with partners, with joint venture partners, with collaborators. You have relationships that will stand the test of time when you start with valuing yourself. And then what self love can do for you in your business is it sustains your well being. Now, we all know that running a business can be full on, especially when you care so deeply about the people that you serve, about the business that you're building, right? Some of you are not only building businesses, but you may be building ministries as well. And so you have this deep love and concern for what you are building, right? But my friends, you can't pour from an empty cup. I know you've heard that before. So you must make sure that your cup is full, right? And by making self love a priority, you're protecting your vitality and you're making sure that you keep serving at your best. Another thing I tell my clients all the time is that you have to be 100% in order for you to serve at a level of excellence, right? If you're not whole, if you're not complete, if you're not feeling like you are worthy or you are, you bring value, if you're not feeling that, then you're not serving from 100% of excellence, right? So, how do you implement self-love in your business, right? That's a good question. So, as we think about celebrating this month, right? It's February, so we're thinking about celebrating Valentine's Day, which is tomorrow, right? Even if you don't celebrate Valentine's Day, what I want you to celebrate is you, right? I want you to celebrate yourself. That's how you implement self-love into your business, right? So here's some ways that you can weave self-love into your everyday business practices. This will show you how much you really care about yourself when you start to implement these things. First and foremost, set boundaries with love, right? No can be one of the most empowering words that you will ever say. Yet it's one of the things that most women entrepreneurs, especially, are afraid of because we don't want to let people down. We don't want to hurt feelings, right? We don't want people to think bad of us. We don't want people to think we're rude or mean or any of that stuff. But no is such an empowering word. So when something doesn't align with your spirit or your values, give yourself permission to say no. When you do this, it creates room to focus on what truly matters in your life and in your business instead of you taking on all of these extra things that really don't serve you. Okay. The next thing is practice self care rituals. Now, you've heard this a million and two times, right? But it's deeper than getting your nails done and getting your hair done, right? My friend, self care is not indulgence, it's nourishment. And so, whether we're talking about meditating or having that favorite cup of coffee in the morning or slipping away for a quick walk in nature, right? Invest in little pockets of joy that replenish your energy. One of my favorite morning rituals is, of course, meditation, right? Meditation and prayer, and then journaling. Okay. And then another way is to cultivate positive self talk. Now, here's a big one because often our conversations to ourselves is not so positive, right? So be mindful of the words that you say to yourself. Stop and ask yourself, like, where did that question come from? Or where did that statement come from? Why am I saying that? What is it that I feel about that produces that thought, right? And when doubt creeps in, and trust me, you know it will, remind yourself of how far you've come. Celebrate those wins. Big, small, it doesn't matter, right? Because your brain believes what you tell it. So when you celebrate your wins and your accomplishments, that is another form of eliminating the negative self talk and replacing it with the positive things that are happening in your business and in your life, right? And that leads me right into celebrate your achievements. So we're always, really good at applauding other people, yet we often forget to celebrate ourselves. So every now and then, I want you to stop and I want you to savor the moment, right? Throw that little dance party if you hit a big milestone, right? You hit a new income level, or if you overcome a tough challenge, right? Do a little dance break, right? Celebrate yourself. We, again, as successful women entrepreneurs, often go from one thing to the next without stopping to celebrate the accomplishment that we had along the way. So it's very important that you celebrate your achievements. And then you want to invest in personal growth. Keep learning, keep growing, keep reaching and seeking out mentors, books that uplift you and encourage you, right? Attending workshops, things that excite you, things that you really enjoy learning about. When we expand ourselves, we naturally expand our business. All right. So here's a reminder to love yourself. Valentine's Day, we see all of the roses, the chocolates, the romantic dinners, right? But it can also be a beautiful reminder to turn that love inward Look back at your journey, everything that you've overcome, every success that you've achieved, right? There's power in pausing to acknowledge your unique gifts and reaffirming your commitment to your well being. Listen, let this be a daily practice, not just a once a year event when Valentine's Day rolls around, right? Because when you love yourself, you are far better equipped to love and serve others. Self love must come first. So here's a little exercise that I want you to do, right? I want you to create a self love vision board. All right, this is homework. So, this self love vision board, I want you to just gather quotes and pictures, doodles, anything that speaks to your heart's calling and your dreams for your business. And I want you to place it on a board, of course, and then place that board where you can see it every single day. And then I want you to let it be a living, breathing testament to your commitment to you, right? Every glance at that board should remind you you are worthy. Your dreams matter, and you deserve to see them come to life. As women entrepreneurs, we pour so much love into our work, into our clients, our family, our teams, our community, right? But as I said, often we leave little for ourselves. So today, let's shift that script. Commit to self love. Commit to self love fearlessly and consistently. And remember, designing your victory is a choice. Choose to love yourself. Then you can truly design a life and business that lights up your soul. Here's to a February full of self love, deep creativity, and blossoming success. Happy Valentine's Day.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Business by Design podcast. If you love what you're hearing each week, let me know by leaving a rating and a review. And don't forget to follow the show so you don't miss out on proven mindset techniques, strategies, and tools to help you design your victory and create the business and life you desire. Also, if you're ready to talk about the business and life that you really want, head on over to valeriepriester.com and schedule your private business breakthrough clarity call. Until next week, remember, designing your victory is a choice. Start today.